welcome back, fam. Welcome to the King's Vibe podcast. And my name is Kwame. I'm going to be your host today. Today we have another good one for you. Topic we're going to discuss today is the role of women in the military. Some of the stereotypes and some of the things that they did for the military. But with me to discuss this, I have Don.
What up?
I have Scotty. I have Lou. You. And we have a guest in the building, Kayla, aka Kay. These opinions are of our own, and they do not represent the military or the government by any means. Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing?
What up?
Good. Happy
too.
to be here.
Oof. Yeah. And we're glad that you joined us today. Thank you very much for that. But like we said, today we're going to talk about women in the military, their roles, some of the things that they've done, some of the positions that they've held that people probably don't know, and some of the stereotypes that regard women in the military. But to kick this conversation off, let's give some history on women in the military.
I mean, if we think about it, women were first able to enlist in 1917.
Okay.
And, our first female to become a four-star admiral, Admiral Howard, right? She was the first black female to command the U.S. Navy combatant ship USS Rushmore. So I think from then until now, we've progressed throughout history in that we see more women nowadays becoming more a part of the military culture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that opened up the door for a lot of women to serve?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, because it gave us a sense of belonging, a sense of a confidence in a way. Wanting to be able to be equal with our male counterparts in a sense.
So it was more like if another woman is doing it, maybe I could do it too.
Not even maybe. I know I can do it.
Okay.
Because when I saw
Energy.
Admiral Howard, you know what I'm saying? Big Admiral energy. Seeing Admiral Howard become the first black female to command a warship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's huge. That's huge for the female population.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. I know y'all been in the military for a very long time. Lou pushing on almost 30 years here, but just kidding. But with your time in the military, what do you think? Do you think there has been some type of transition with women kind of taking up certain roles? And is it anything that has to do with more so like a woman can't really do this, or like, okay, well, I'm gonna show you that I'm a woman, but I'm still gonna do it, kind of thing? Have y'all seen that?
I don't think it's like women are proving a point. It's,
okay.
I know it's definitely stereotypes out there.
Okay.
Absolutely. But as far as positions held, yeah, it's I just the commanding officer of Norfolk Naval Station, Norfolk.
Yeah, yeah.
Black female. That's the first black CEO of that.
Was it Captain Day, I think?
Captain
yeah.
Day. Yeah, that's the first black female that, was the CEO of that installation.
Right.
So it's almost like, well, why did it take that long? That's probably the mind state I'm in. Like, why did it take that long? Was it no other surface warfare officers qualified? Or, what does it matter? We're all sailors. We all get certain ranks in the Navy. Was that this is the only time that it can happen right now? No, but it is trailblazing. So you got female sailors that feel like, oh, I can only do this job, I can only do that job. Well, commanding officer of that base is a black female.
Yeah.
I think it was always emphasis on it, but I think now in this age, I think it's with digital media or social media or whatever we're phrasing it, it's a lot more spotlight on people to track it and to see it, right? Because now that I can see it, I now can picture myself or visualize myself in other rooms, right? Before, you didn't know that somebody existed until they were like on board your ship or on board your installation, way before the media.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But now you can nearly track everybody that's trailblazing in our culture or our organization. You can track them like every day on social media.
Well, you know what? So maybe this is debatable, but I think now more than ever, there's a lot of women doing a lot of great things in the military, holding up a lot of high positions. But do you think it's because people are actually looking now? It's probably going to be on social media if it happens. So maybe let's put that person there. Or
But I think for a while they've been holding the positions.
Okay.
I don't think this is something new. It's just the spotlight's on it. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, then how are there female admirals and captains of installations and stuff? They had to been doing it for a while.
Right.
But now I think there's a lot more emphasis on the execution of it. Right? Think about how when they were changing the programs for them to enter into combat roles. Right? Now you got women visualizing themselves as SEALs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or Army Rangers. Right? So I think there's more emphasis on it now than ever before. Which is great though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
I
a good
applaud
thing.
it.
Yeah. What about you, Lou?
Yeah, I agree with all that. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
I'm
Listen.
He's just trying to learn. So,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to see if you have something else to, that we don't know with your 30 years of military service. Thank you.
I mean, I don't.
Have you really been in for 30 years?
Absolutely not. I hit 19 years yesterday.
19 is still a lot. No, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah.
Just let that slide by.
New math over here.
But
Cumulative average.
let's all right, so let's delve into something else, right? And maybe I'm not so privy into why or how it even started, but when you look at advancement in the military, on the enlisted side, well, more so on the officer side, right? There's always a breakdown of how many males are making this rank, how many females are making this rank. Do you think that there is some type of an agenda to push female numbers up, and that's why we're breaking it down?
I think maybe.
Okay.
Because, getting selected for chief, when I got selected for chief, they actually put the demographics in there. Like, when you can see the breakdown of how many males, how many females, race. And to me, I'm like, what was the point of that? It really shouldn't matter. Like, if we put a list out, we got the list out. Why do we need to know the demographics of who made it? Male, female, black, white, Asian, if you're Christian, Jewish, why do we have to know that? Like, that doesn't, it's no need. So obviously somewhere it is being tracked.
Right.
So I think it is a percentage of some.
Is it giving people some type of hope, as in like, hey, there are women out there doing it, even though I don't see it. These numbers are showing that people are doing it who are women just like me. So maybe I have a shot at it. I don't know. Do we think that's what it is?
I don't think the demographic is gonna actually give you hope. I just don't understand why we're tracking it. Like, if we're going off of merit because you're getting selected by merit,
right?
Why does it matter if I'm black, white, male, female? Why does that even matter? Am I qualified to do the job? And that's what it should be gauged on across the board.
You would think, though.
But in some instant, it has to have some severity of why you're even putting it in there. So that means, maybe one race was getting undercut versus some others, and they had qualified people. Like, we've yet to, I'm going to throw this out there, we've yet to see a female MCPON. Not yet,
Okay.
Well, you got a female CNO, so
Yeah.
I mean, but back to what you said. Maybe I'm gonna play a devil's advocate. Does it matter? Does it matter if it's a male or female? That's it.
I'm not saying it's somebody that's not qualified.
Okay.
To do it because they're male or female.
But the same data that they're providing shows us that there's no female MCPON ever. Okay.
Thing,
Well, they're tracking awards like that, though. Like, how they track how many people or the ethnicities that are getting awards on board vessels or installations. To someone that's tracking the data analysis, it matters a lot, right? Because, again, the Navy of what we know now wasn't always this Navy.
Right.
So someone has to be tracking it still because it matters still to this present day, though.
But it shouldn't. It should be all off merit. That's, again, though.
Well, not to do the job. I agree. I agree to do the job.
Any of that. It's all off merit. Like, who's the best
fit candidate.
Fit candidate
to do the
this.
job.
Did you qualify for, like, we got an awards manual. It tell you, hey, if you did over and above Call of Duty for this, if it was a heroic act, if it was meritorious, like, which one was it? Like, it don't say, hey, is he a, this black kid from Detroit, he deserves a con. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't say it like that. It says, do you fit the criteria of this award? Do you fit the criteria for this job?
So I think the job selection should be as such. So I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Are you qualified?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you know why, maybe why they break it down according to gender, by all means, drop it in the comments. Let's know what you think. But we'll keep the conversation going. So, all right. So, I think just like any other job, there are some type of gender roles, right? Just like any other job, and I don't think the military is any different. You know what I'm saying? But let's delve into some of these gender roles and see if these are the reasons why some of the stereotypes come up. Right now, I started like this: if I had two people, right, who work for me or with me or whatever, a male and a female, and I have a big box, heavy box that needed to be lifted up, right? Naturally, I'm probably gonna call the guy to go try to lift it up, right? If I had some type of paperwork that needed to be done, naturally, I might try to get the woman, just because naturally the woman might pay more attention to the paper than the man will, right? Or maybe naturally the man will probably lift the heavy box easier than the woman will. Is that safe to say?
No.
Okay.
It's some strong women out here. She
That's what
100%.
I'm thinking.
She probably could pick up that box.
100%. I'm just talking natural front. That's what I'm talking.
I mean, we take it in. Say I'm one of the two sailors.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's three of us in the office.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to go pick this up. You know what I'm saying? Me, personally, I probably would go pick up the box. I'm not going to feel no type of way just because you didn't tell her to go pick up the box. I mean,
okay.
I would just probably prefer to go get the box. Not saying I can't do the paperwork. I just go get the box. I go pick up the part or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Me and whoever else.
Yeah, but what if she want to go pick up the box? What if she be like, nah, man, I got it. What you gonna say?
All right.
Go pick up the box.
Go pick up the box.
Go get the
I ain't gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you.
I think it's about knowing character, knowing the people. The personalities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all about knowing your people.
Yeah, because I probably would have sent her to go get the box, and him to go to do the paperwork.
Why?
Right.
Because if she lacks attention to detail, as far as like the administrative duties, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm not sending her because I think the box, you know what I'm saying? Because of the paperwork or the box is indifferent to gender roles, right? He may be really good with attention and detail, and she's a little off, right? But she may be stronger than him. Who knows, right? But you can't say at the end of the day, well, you chose me to go get the box because I'm a female. Like now, I take that dynamic out of there, right? And he can't play that either. Well, chief or whoever. You sent me to go get the box because I'm the male. You gave her the paperwork. So I always counterbalanced it, right? So you couldn't pull which card when it's convenient to you, right? Because if I send you to go get the box multiple times in a row, you're going to play the card of, oh, well, I'm just a male, so you just use me for the muscles. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of take that out of there. Well, why do I always got to go get the box? This is the female. You know what I'm saying? Like now you got to break it down with knowing your people. So I don't know. I'm on the opposite spectrum.
I'm gonna send them both to get the box.
If it's multiple boxes, yes.
I mean, even if it's one, like that's the thing about being a leader, not just in the military, but in general, is knowing your people and being able to play into your people's strengths and help increase their weaknesses, right? So if I know that Seaman Timmy can't lift the box, but the other seaman can, or whatever, then I'm gonna play into the strengths and weaknesses, right?
Yes.
And help boost their confidence or boost their character, or be able to instill some type of learning within either one of those.
I know.
It's a discussion piece.
I like that.
I know. We'll have another discussion on how we get down into the gym. I'm trying to boost him up to get in the gym and build on his strengths and his weaknesses.
What's that got to do with a box?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. What are
He just trying to get Don in the gym. I know.
You need to put a poll up. Hey, get Don in the gym. Who all votes to get Don in the gym? It's gonna be at the bottom of your screen. How y'all gonna get me in the gym?
We need muscle friends, man.
But I mean, I think we're coming out with all these great ideas because y'all some great leaders. But the reality is out there, these things are happening, right? And I mean, granted, even if you said men are just as strong as women, just look in the military. Men do more push-ups than women normally because of that same fact.
Well, that's the standard that they set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're saying that a man or woman can pick that box up, why don't we do the same amount of push-ups?
Hey,
Why don't we do the same run?
that's true.
Huh?
But
We're
it was
talking
already
about
set up there. That those differences. It's not just okay, sailor. You got to do this. It's always going to be a male and a female when it comes to something like that.
And so naturally, there is that split. There are certain things that are naturally probably going to have male do, or maybe have female do, right?
so.
You know what I'm saying? But at what point are we pushing it too much to where now it's a stereotype? Because that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that line?
Yeah.
I mean, the line's drawn in the sand unconsciously. Like you said, you'll naturally gravitate towards it because you're raised to naturally protect the woman, anyways. So I think even as a leader, you will unconsciously do it because you're like, well, I'm looking out for the female sailor. Let him go lift a heavier load. But
Right.
I think over time, like Kayla said, if you play to their weaknesses to build them in strengths, I think you'll always be fine. Because at some point, somebody will pull the card of it. You know what I'm saying? They will come have that talk with you, especially if he's tired of going to go get that box, and you always look like you're favoring the female. What normally comes into play next?
Okay.
Fraternization.
Ooh.
Right? And it's not what it looks like, but that sailor will start to play cards to their favor because they dislike such an action. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I pulled up something from military.com where they talked about stereotypes, and I forgot the person who actually wrote that article, but it was a female. And she did say that almost all of these things that she listed, she actually hasn't seen them herself. But just talking to a lot of other females, these are what people say. Some of it are kind of interesting. I think we could probably talk about. One of them is that they get pregnant on purpose just so they can get out of deployments. It says that people say they need to get out if they want to have children. One of them say they are gay, they as in women. One of them say that military women get raped all the time. One of them say that military women cry sexual harassment. One of them say they don't like to participate in spouse socials because they never get invited. But these are some of the stereotypes. How true are these things? Or even close to it?
Man, that ain't true, man. I said I wish I can get pregnant once so I can get out of a deployment.
You as in
What?
I don't want to go.
when you say you mean like the male Lou that we know.
No, I'm just saying, like I heard males say it before. Not me in particular. I'm just saying I heard males walk around the ship and be like, man, I wish I can get pregnant so I ain't have to go on this deployment.
But are they saying it because women are actually getting pregnant to get out of deployment?
Well, I mean, you asking me, yeah, I think so. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Every now and then.
Yeah, there's somebody out there.
There's somebody out there to do everything, right? The reason, and it depends on the woman. It depends on the environment. It depends on the where she's at in her life, right? If she's ready to start a family, it's tough. So, a little background, like I'm a SWO. I have 3 children, dual meal, right? And I was deployed.
What is a dual meal?
Dual meal is I'm married. My husband is in the military as well.
Okay.
He's a SWO as well. And I was deployed when I found out I was pregnant with our first daughter.
Okay.
And I was personally crushed because, as a career-driven woman, I felt like I let my sailors, my chain of command down.
Okay.
And it wasn't until my captain told me that babies are a blessing and to not feel like a burden.
Any type of way, yeah.
Any type of way, right? And then my Chang at the time told me the exact same thing. And I had the support. But the thing is, some women in those same circumstances do not have the same support.
Right.
And so, therefore, what type of message does that send? When they don't have the support, saying, "Oh, you just getting pregnant to get out of deployment, or you're just getting pregnant to get out of this type of billet, or whatever the case may be," right? I don't think it's talked about, right? It's joked about, but I feel like women who are career driven wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wouldn't do that as in I wouldn't just get pregnant to get out of
anything.
deployment. Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens, right? Yeah.
Military's not gonna put a pause on you having a family, but not just wait until the month before deployment and be like, perfect time.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think that's what we're talking about.
it don't even happen like that though.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah.
Like, it does happen. It's just, it makes everyone uneasy.
Right.
It's, because you're like, oh, well, it's two sides of it. Okay, yeah, this happened, I got pregnant. Boom. All right, now people don't look at what the leadership has to go through now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you going on deployment, you're thinking you got a full team, full roster, and then this happens, and then you kind of got to wait. It's not like a immediate thing. Like, yes, you're not going to be on the ship, but then we're not going to have somebody that was doing a job that you were doing
to replace you. Yeah.
But that's fine.
But
though.
why? But why? Isn't that what a watch team replacement plan is for?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at a moment's notice, no one's thinking like, oh, well, we got this watch team replacement plan, so yeah, we can just throw that in effect. But it's just, what if? I'm not saying you have to plan it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, in some, it's bad timing with some things.
Yeah.
With leadership. You know what I'm saying? Because then you gotta sit in here. Okay, well, who's gonna be doing this? And
that's your job as a leader, though.
Exactly.
It ain't my job as a sailor, as a female, right? I'm not a female, but my job to plan things around what I think your burdens are gonna be. If I want a family and there's no timing, my job isn't to plan the Navy around when I should conceive
have
a
a
child
family, yeah.
or whatever the case may be, because if you do that, you will always be waiting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
some
easy
women
for them.
have.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some women have.
They have.
Yeah.
So it's easy for a male to think about what are they absentees as far as like billets and roles to play, because we ain't the one that has to depart the ship for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or leave the gap billet.
Yeah,
right?
that's where I'm saying I'm hitting on. It's not just because it happened. I don't have an issue with it. I'm just saying that happens in leadership, and now you gotta kind of figure it out. Like, okay, well, we done lost. I was on the ship and we lost 3 females to being pregnant. Boom. It doesn't matter what their job was. You lose 3 personnel.
Yeah.
We not deploying. We pretty much was leaving from it was a pre-com, so we was leaving from Mississippi to go to Norfolk. 3 of them didn't make it.
And I mean,
and that affects everyone.
Right.
It does. I'm not saying
You
the
can't
losing
plan
the
for
body. You can't.
Yeah.
If there were hard charging sailors,
Absolutely,
you can't, right?
They want cooks on watch.
Yeah.
Under the new instruction, you lose the male too, for at least 3 months. Good 4 actually.
Yeah.
You do lose the male.
Yeah.
You lose the male for at least 4 months now.
After the baby's born, though.
Yeah.
But most people break it up now too, though.
Yeah,
They don't take
The whole
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah, they don't take it
Based
all
off
at
their
once.
circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They break it up.
But in that aspect, we just thinking like 1 sailor. Like, no, I lost like 3, and it was like 2 of us on watch, the watch captain and 1 cook on watch, until we got those billets filled, and that still is a stress. That's still even on leadership,
Right.
You know
It
what I'm
does,
saying?
it does.
It still happens.
Yeah, it's a stress. It's a
Not
stress.
just one person. You lose like watch team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was planned, but
Yeah. I just think that life is going to happen one way or the other, whether you do it on purpose or not on purpose, right?
Maybe.
However, I think it's not a burden, but most of the after job is going to fall on the leader to either dispel the rumors, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sailors do what sailors do, and they're going to talk,
Yeah.
whether it's true or not, right? But then how do we as leaders dispel that, though?
I mean, just don't even look into it.
But
like that.
already women feel like we can't it's already difficult enough to have children.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
at the moment that we do find out that we're pregnant, all we want is support.
Right.
That's it. Whether we wanted to get pregnant or not, is we don't need to hear what about wash bills, what about this, that, and the third about a job. We just need you to say, congratulations, what do you need from me? But some males don't do that. They start
Very
thinking
true.
about wash bills and wash stations, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
But still, in that moment, at that moment, that's not what we need.
Well, you know what? I think it just depends on what level of conversation we're talking about here, right? So if you are, say, you're one of my sailors and you're pregnant, right? Of course, that's not the time for me to be like, oh man, you falling out is gonna affect us a lot. But then when I meet with my boss or whoever it is, closed doors, that's one of the things we're gonna have to talk about. It's just reality.
But that's a
right?
mature level of leadership, though.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not.
Leaders in this capacity. Some of them will sit there and give you the conversation
Yeah,
Well,
they would.
and guilt trip.
True.
Yeah,
True.
sailor.
that part.
True.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So now they're not even happy about.
And again,
the
and
gift
and
that
again,
God's given them.
that's how some of these stereotypes are built, though.
Yes,
Because
yes.
if my only chance to this thing is what you just told me, now in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, clearly, women in the military can't have kids.
Yes.
And I'm gonna keep that with me. And if I'm not strong enough, I'm probably gonna keep that with me for the rest of my time, and maybe even get out because
Yeah,
of that.
maybe get off first
right?
contract.
Not
But
even
then-
maybe. Like, they will get out.
Most likely, right?
They getting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's people on the outside that's probably going to do most of the talking, right? I.e., all of the other sailors that see this one person leaving because of said whatever happened, right? But then us as leaders, how do we control that? You just can't just be like, well, we're not going to talk about it.
You got to.
That's going to create an
yeah.
environment.
Yeah, you got
You know
to.
what I'm
talk about
saying?
it.
But how do we handle that though?
How do you
How do you go about it? Are you gonna open up a forum and talk about it? Or are you gonna wait and see who's saying what so I can address it? How do we go about it?
I mean, the best way to just attack it is just talk about it, like as a group or whatever it needs to be.
But talk about what specific, like,
what? Yeah,
Because
like, what are we talking
because people are gonna talk about what just happened, right?
With
about the
with
female
sailor.
getting pregnant?
Right.
about? Oh yeah, but
Oh.
Are we gonna talk about it? Now we're talking about stereotypes in general. The pregnancy is obviously a big one, right? And that's why we keep bringing that up. But we're just talking about stereotypes in general, right? Whether it's